Hi, I'm Rachel. Welcome to my channel. It's time for another week of What's for Dinner. For our first dinner, we are starting on Sunday and I am making meatloaf. This time I'm using some oats as my filler instead of breadcrumbs or crackers. And I'm also just seasoning up this meatloaf with some onion powder, garlic powder, salt, and pepper. And then I'm going to add a couple eggs as my binder. After I give it a good mix with my meat masher, then I add some milk. And I got right back to mixing it up again, so that everything is nice and combined. Then I transferred my meatloaf mix into the meatloaf pan. And I always cook my meatloaf on either 375 or 400 for about an hour. Next, I'm just making a really easy side dish. I'm just chopping up some potatoes into bite-sized pieces and putting them into a Pyrex baking dish. And all I'm going to do is add some butter, garlic powder, onion powder, salt, and pepper, and then put those in the oven as well. And on this night, I was just getting dinner prepared for the guys because I was going to a wine and canvas event with a friend of mine. And this way they had dinner all ready for them. All they had to do was keep an eye on the oven and listen for the timer to go off. We had a great time on this night painting Christmas palettes, and the bottomless mimosas were good too. Bill always adds cream of mushroom soup to meatloaf when it's cooking, but I like to have ketchup on everything, so here was mine. I don't know what it is about Mondays these days, but they always hit me like a ton of bricks. Maybe it was the mimosas the night before. Who knows? But I wanted a really simple and easy dinner on this night. So we are just making a salad. I'm mixing one of the chopped salad kits with just some shredded iceberg lettuce. The chopped salad kits just don't seem to have very much in them, so I like to bulk them up a little bit. And so this one is supposed to be the sunflower crunch, I believe, but there was all of this edamame in it, which was okay. It was very, very crunchy. Please don't mind my groceries sitting around on the counter. I had just gone grocery shopping after work and hadn't been able to put everything away yet. I had picked up some blue cheese at the store, so I put that in the salad as well. And then I added some tomato wedges, and on the left-hand side, you will see Bill is kind of making some sandwiches. He had a grilled ham and cheese sandwich. He did not want to have salad that night. Everybody was kind of doing their own thing. I had crisped up some of these chicken strips that we've had in our freezer for a while and just tossed those right on top of the salad. Last, I just drizzled on the salad dressing that came with the chopped salad kit. It was kind of a sweet sauce along the lines of a coleslaw dressing. And it went very well with the savory flavor of the chicken strips. I don't know why, but I was just at work craving a great big salad for dinner on Monday. And this one was so good. On Tuesday, I got this pan of brats, peppers, and onions ready for the guys to have while I was at work. Tuesday is my night that I work until 8 p.m. So I like to have a little something ready for them whenever I feel like being nice and doing it ahead of time. And thought that this would be pretty easy for them to take out of the fridge and just pop it into the oven. But they did end up picking up fried chicken, which was fine with me. I really don't care. I was just giving them the option of making this for dinner if they wanted to. But it was a night that everybody got home late from all the stuff that they were doing in their life. And so I did end up making this on Wednesday instead, but I'm just going to go ahead and show you how I put it together. There's really nothing to this. Once I got everything chopped up, I just threw it in the pan with those brats, sprinkled on a little bit of Cajun seasoning, and then covered it with foil and put it in the fridge. On Wednesday, when I actually cooked these, I just put them in the oven on 375 and let them cook, and then I added some cheese on top of those brats. I used pepper jack, served them up with some fries and some cottage cheese on the side. Little peek at our Christmas decorations this year. I won't be doing a decorate with me or a house tour or anything like that, but I just wanted to share a little bit of what Christmas looks like around our house. I just decided to keep it pretty simple this year, and a lot of our fall decorations just kind of got swapped out with a few Christmas type things like these dried oranges and this reindeer instead of the turkey, and of course my Santa mugs came out of storage. My kitchen isn't ready, but I couldn't resist doing a little decorating. I haven't painted the walls or anything yet, but if I actually get anything finished by Christmas, it will be a true Christmas miracle. But this is what we have in the meantime. On Thursday, I wanted tacos, but I kind of wasn't in the mood for just the regular old run-of-the-mill tacos. So decided that I would do what I consider my own twist on the crunch wrap. Now bear with me because I'm freestyling here. Now, I know everybody makes a crunch wrap with a round tortilla and with that corn tostado or whatever in the middle, but I wanted to use Doritos, and I don't really ever care about doing things the way everybody else does. So I'm just kind of doing my own thing here. I added some of that cheese and some lettuce and tomatoes and sour cream on top of my tortilla that had the taco meat. And I am just using that cheese as my glue, so to say, and then I'm using my knife as a tool to help fold it because this gets hot really quick. And even though I have neuropathy in my hands and I don't really feel heat as quickly as other people, I did feel it this time. So I'm using my little knife here, and I did forget to put my Doritos in the first time, so I had to lift that flap back up, but that's okay. Everything turned out fine. And then I just continued using my cheese as my glue until I had made a little pocket and closed all of that filling up inside. Once it was all tucked in, I sprayed it with some cooking spray and browned it up on both sides. So it's square and it has Doritos inside. Oh wow, this was so delicious. And after I decided which direction I wanted to cut this bad boy in, it was time to eat dinner. And these turned out so good, like I said. We will definitely make these again. Friday night we went out to eat. We were just really tired and wanted someone else to do the cooking. And this is what it looked like at 5 o'clock or 5:30 p.m. here in Michigan. So we were just feeling a little over it and just decided to go to the Chinese buffet. Kind of like on the Christmas Story when they give up on dinner and just go to get Chinese food. All right, we're ending our week on Saturday, and I am making sheet pan chicken parmesan. So to get started, I'm just getting a couple bowls ready with some breadcrumbs. First, I just did some panko, and then I added some Italian seasoned breadcrumbs right in with it just for that flavor. And then next, I'm just cracking 4 eggs into another bowl, and I'm going to add some half and half. And so this is just going to be my little dredging station for my chicken. Yes, I am whisking with a fork, and I just find that I do better with a fork. I do occasionally try to use a whisk just for giggles, but I do way better with a fork for some reason. It's just the way I've always done it. And I just want to point out that I am using chicken breast tenderloins to make the sheet pan meal because when I went to the store, they had no chicken breasts and no chicken thighs except for these. And so it was a little bit of a headache just dealing with getting that tendon out of each little tenderloin, but I survived that task and managed to get all of my pieces of chicken breaded and laid out on this cooking sheet, baking sheet, that I sprayed down with some nonstick cooking spray. Now, I could have used some foil, but I just got way ahead of myself and had already sprayed it and just decided to go with it. And I'm just going to speed it up a little so that you don't get too bored watching me get all of these chicken pieces coated with the breadcrumbs. Okay, so once all that chicken was breaded and on the sheet pan, I just added a bag of frozen broccoli florets. I was a little worried that when these started to thaw out that the liquid from the broccoli would seep underneath the chicken, but it turned out absolutely fine. I cooked up some spaghetti and I had my pasta sauce waiting to go on the chicken, and when I was ready, I just flipped them over because they were crispier on one side than the other. I had cooked these in the oven for about 20-25 minutes on 375. I want to say more like 20 minutes is what I set the timer for, but it took me a couple minutes to go back and turn it off. Anyway, so I just worked on getting those flipped over. Then I came back and I poured some pasta sauce right over top. Then I used some shredded mozzarella cheese because I didn't have any shredded Parmesan cheese on hand. So we're just making do with what we have. And also just using it up because I've had it for a little bit now in the fridge and it was time to get it going. And after I get the chicken pieces adequately covered with sauce and cheese, I'm just going to pop it back in the oven on 350 this time because my broccoli is looking a little dark and I didn't want it to burn. So I'm just going to put it back in long enough to melt that cheese. And here it is coming out of the oven. I could barely wait to get my plate made. I started with some of that cooked spaghetti and then I just put some extra sauce on top of my noodles and then topped it with my chicken and cheese. And I had to have some of that broccoli on the side. This was so amazingly good. And aside from having to remove the tendons from those chicken tenderloins, it came together pretty quick and easy. Thank you so much for coming by and watching. This is all I have for this week. If you enjoyed this video, please consider hitting the subscribe button so that you can see more of my future videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.